Hey, what's up you guys? It's Annie back with another video helping you to turn your YouTube channel into a success. So I have come to the realization recently through talking to a bunch of you guys in my DMs, replying to comments, some of the discussions I see in my Facebook group, that the average creator who is not already monetized on YouTube or the general public who is not a YouTuber has absolutely no idea how the whole money-making process on YouTube actually works, what determines how much you make and when you get paid, how much money YouTubers actually make, how much you can make, and all of that sort of thing. So in this video, I want to break down all of that to basically help you guys have a much better idea of how money making on YouTube actually works and how much money YouTubers can actually make with YouTube. So the very first thing I feel like a lot of people misunderstand at first is that while we are getting paid for our YouTube channels and our YouTube videos, it's not actually YouTube themselves that pays us. YouTubers get paid every single month through Google AdSense. So when you reach the 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time requirements on YouTube, you then become eligible to join the YouTube Partner Program and become monetized on YouTube. But what you are actually doing, what you are actually becoming eligible for, is to link your YouTube channel to a Google AdSense account to be able to have ads placed on your videos and make money off of the ads on your videos. So it's not a question of how much is YouTube paying you or how much is your YouTube channel worth on YouTube. The real question is how much is Google AdSense paying you for the ads on your videos? Which is why a YouTube channel with, let's say, 50,000 subscribers can make way more money than a YouTube channel with 100,000, even 500,000 subscribers, because the size of your channel, your subscriber count, absolutely none of that is going to impact how much money you make through your YouTube channel. Which then brings us to the second thing a lot of people tend to misunderstand, which is what actually determines how little or how much money you're going to make from your videos every single month. And I would say this is basically a three-tiered answer between your CPM, your RPM, and what is called monetized playbacks. So most people assume if you get views on your videos and you're monetized on YouTube, you're getting paid for every single view. So somebody who gets, let's say, 1.4 million views on their video is getting paid for every single one of those 1 million views and making insane amounts of money. When actually it's not your views at all that make you money, it's what's called monetized playbacks, which means that not only is somebody watching your video, but they're also watching the ad that plays before the video. So if, for example, your video gets, let's say, 15,000 views, but only 5,000 of those 15,000 actually watches the ad that plays before the video, you're only getting paid for 5,000 of the total 15,000 views. So if you see a YouTuber that gets, let's say, 100,000 views on their video, if you're assuming that 100,000 views makes an insane amount of money, you don't know that for a fact because you don't know how many of those 100,000 views were actually served ads when they watched the video and how many of them actually watched the ad. So most definitely the amount of money somebody is paid for every single one of their videos could be a lot less or a lot more than what you perceive it to be. I would definitely recommend searching up on YouTube how much YouTube paid me, because there's this whole series of videos that Shelby Church started that inspired a whole bunch of YouTubers to share how much money they actually made for certain amounts of views. So you'll see things like how much YouTube paid me for 1 million views, how much YouTube paid me for 500,000 views. I think watching those videos really helps you to have a much more realistic point of view on how much YouTubers actually make. Now, the second factor in how much money we actually get paid is your CPM and your RPM. So your CPM stands for cost per mil and your RPM stands for revenue per mil. Now, what the CPM tells you is how much money your video is making per 1,000 views. Yes, you caught that right. Another thing a lot of people tend to lose sight of when they're getting all caught up in money and views and subscribers is that we get paid for every 1,000 monetized playbacks. So let's say you look at your video analytics and your CPM is $15. That means that for every 1,000 ad views or monetized playbacks on your video, you get paid $15 or 0.015 cents for every one ad view or monetized playback. And then you have your RPM, which, as I said, stands for revenue per mil, which is how much you're getting paid per 1,000 monetized playbacks. See, your CPM isn't actually how much you get paid per 1,000 ad views. Your CPM is how much your your video is making per 1,000 views. Not a lot of people tend to know that YouTube actually takes 45% of all the money your channel makes because they are the platform that allows us to monetize our videos and make money. So when you look at the revenue analytics of any one of your videos, you're going to see your CPM, your RPM, and then your revenue. So basically your CPM is how much money your video makes per 1,000 views before YouTube takes their 45% cut. And then your RPM is how much money you're making and how much you get to keep per 1,000 monetized playbacks. So when you upload a video on YouTube, if you want to know how much money you're going to get paid per 1,000 ad views, you want to look at your RPM, not your CPM. So at this point, you are probably asking yourself, what determines your CPM and your RPM, how low it is, how high it is? There are way too many factors to even begin to name them all, but the main things that do control how high or low your RPM and CPM are going to be is firstly the topic of your videos. So for example, videos about personal finance versus videos about fitness versus videos about how to grow on YouTube will all have different CPMs and RPMs depending on how much advertisers have bid on those specific keywords on the Google Ads platform. See, the common mistake a lot of people tend to make is thinking that your CPMs and your RPMs are assigned to you to benefit you and help you make money. But these CPM and RPM rates on our videos are actually designed to benefit advertisers. If, for example, Apple wants to advertise on YouTube because they have a new iPhone or a new iPad they want to advertise, they have to go through the Google Ads platform to set up ads that are going to play on our videos on YouTube. So they're going to have to go through what is called a keyword auction to bid on certain keywords that are going to be found on videos on YouTube. And depending on the winning bid, that is going to determine what audiences their ads are put in front of and what videos their ads are going to be served on, which then also determines how much your CPM and your RPM are going to be. So they're going to target certain keywords that are relevant to their company and their products to make sure they're having their ads put in front of the right type of audiences that are a lot more likely to actually want to buy their products. So depending on the advertiser's budget and how much they're willing to pay for every single ad view on your videos, that is going to determine how high or low your CPM is going to be. So definitely companies and brands that work in the personal finance industry are going to have much larger budgets than small businesses working in the fashion industry. So depending on what keywords you use in your videos and your content, that is going to determine what kinds of advertisers have ads on your videos and how high or low your CPM is going to be. And then the second biggest factor is your audience demographics. Most importantly, where in the world your viewers and your audience members are watching your videos from. So for example, if the majority of your viewers are watching from the US or Canada or the UK, that is going to give you a much different CPM or RPM than if your audience is watching from, say, Indonesia or China. Now, unfortunately for us, there is no way to know specifically what CPM or RPM comes from which keywords or which countries, but if ever you are looking at your CPM or your RPM wondering to yourself how you got this number, where it came from, how it was calculated, that is essentially how it works. So now to give you guys a much better idea of how this would all work in a single day on a YouTube channel, here are some screenshots of my own analytics. So this is a list of every single video on my channel that made money on one single day on March 21st. So total on this day on March 21st, I made a total of $162.08 from ad revenue. So from all the ads I had on my channel in one single day on March 21st, I made $162.08. Now looking down this chart, you can see how much revenue came from each video on this day, what the CPM and RPM was for each one, and how many monetized playbacks versus views each one got. So for example, here on one video, 8,000 playbacks made $66. On another one, 1,300 playbacks made $13, and so on and so forth. And as you can see at the very bottom of the chart, some of these videos on my channel got like 10 or so views, which is very, very little views, and only made a few cents versus others that got more playbacks and made higher amounts of money. So this should give you a pretty good idea of how the whole system works. Basically, every single video gets a CPM and an RPM, and then based on how many monetized playbacks every video gets, that is what determines how much money the advertisers had to pay me and how much money I made from my videos. So now let me give you a little word of advice that pretty much every single successful YouTuber is going to tell you, and that is to not put all of your eggs in one basket and diversify your income. I am so beyond grateful that every single month I make anywhere between $2,000 and $5,000 from AdSense, but I have definitely learned through being monetized for about 2 or so years now that it is going to fluctuate every single day, and and you never know when your revenue could take a massive hit or when it could skyrocket. So AdSense is definitely not something you want to rely upon as a steady income stream. As you saw through the analytics, your CPMs are going to fluctuate, your monetized playbacks are going to fluctuate. Sometimes your videos don't perform super well, so they make a lot less money. Sometimes you have to take a week off of YouTube for work or for school or for some other reason, and that is most definitely going to affect your revenue. So the main reason I was able to go from making a couple $1,000s every month to making over $10,000 every month and 6 figures in a year is by diversifying my income and stacking up multiple streams of income. So for example, I have 2 or 3 different streams of affiliate marketing, which basically puts between $5,000 and $7,000 in my bank account every single month without me having to do absolutely anything, just because people bought a service or a product through my affiliate marketing links, and I get paid for that every single month. So if I take a month off of YouTube, if I get sick, if I go on vacation, or for some reason I'm not uploading any videos on my channel for a week or for a month, that $5,000 to $7,000 is going to hit my bank account every single month, no matter what. Then on top of that, I have a blessing of a management team that is starting to get me brand deals and sponsorships every single month on my channel. So on top of my affiliate marketing, that is another stack of a couple $1,000s here or there every time I do a brand deal. And then on top of that, on top of my affiliate marketing, on top of my sponsorships and brand deals, on the 21st of every month, I am also paid my AdSense revenue. And with that all together, that is how I went from making about $2,000 to making over $10,000 every single month, which is why you see so many YouTubers who have an online store, or they sell a course or an ebook, or they offer some other kind of business or service, so that if for whatever reason their AdSense income is super low or it's not enough to support themselves or live off of, they have other streams of income they can depend on. So that is something I definitely urge every single YouTuber to look into, because you definitely don't want to rely on AdSense alone. But that, you guys, that is pretty much it for this video. I know I stuffed you guys with so much information, but I really hope you guys learned even one new thing you didn't know before from this video, and I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching. Love you all to the moon and back, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!